Welcome to my review of the Ride to Happiness at Plopsaland De Panne in Belgium. During my recent trip to the Netherlands and Belgium, where I visited Efteling, Plopsaland De Panne and Doinrel for the first time, I had the chance to experience the Ride to Happiness. This new for 2021 Mack Rides Xtreme spinning coaster is the first of its kind in Europe, and it is an incredible coaster. As always, let's begin with the stats. With a height of 33 meters, a length of 920 meters and a top speed of 90 km an hour, this is neither the biggest or fastest ride out there, but it still packs in 5 inversions as well as 2 launches. The Ride to Happiness features 2 trains, each consisting of 4 spinning cars with space for 4 riders, resulting in a capacity of 16 riders per train. The expected hourly capacity lies at just 550 riders, so this coaster does not have the best throughput. And now let's take a look at the layout. Right after leaving the station, a hardline roll that turns to the right provides some amazing hang time, while also being quite disorientating thanks to the spinning cars. After coming to a complete stop on the first launch, the train then begins to accelerate at a pretty solid rate, and together with the spinning kicking in, this is definitely the best launch on any Mack Rides coaster. After reaching the top speed, the train flies up the ride's top hat, which provides some of the strongest airtime I've experienced, though this element feels drastically different depending on where you sit. Following the top hat there is the banana roll, which is one of the most disorientating elements during the ride. It's not that intense, but still really fun, all thanks to the spinning. Right after that the train flies into the vertical loop, which has some solid hang time at the top. The next element is the 0G winder, and this is the element which the spinning has the most impact on, as it is a lot more whippy and chaotic when you traverse it sideways instead of backwards or forwards. There is some time to breathe during the next transition, which is the last element of the first half, and it's certainly the weakest part of the ride. Then comes the second launch, which isn't as strong as the first one, but it provides some solid airtime. After that, the train enters the double inverting dive loop, which consists of an uphill roll and a dive loop. This is by far the ride's best inversion, and also the most disorientating element. The following camelback provides some fairly strong but not very sustained airtime, and the turn after that is rather tame but keeps the spinning going for the finality. The ride's finality consists of 2 bunny hops, both offering some insane ejector airtime. This is my favorite part of the ride. That sums up the layout. The Ride to Happiness is themed around the Belgium music festival Tomorrowland. The plaza in front of the station offers some really good views of the hardline roll as well as the second half. There are also some theming structures and water bodies in the area, and it looks really nice overall. In the queue line there are 2 indoor sections with steampunk theming, which is fairly similar to Rookbook. There is also one outdoor part underneath the brake run. The station itself doesn't have too much going on, but there's this cool looking robot talking to you about what you will experience. During the actual ride, there isn't really any theming, but the location over the water is amazing. And of course you can't forget about the onboard soundtrack, which actually makes the experience a good bit more immersive. Smoothness wise, the coaster is not perfect, especially for a ride that is not even 5 months old. While the Ride to Happiness is far from being rough, there is a relatively strong rattle during most of the fast parts. It is nowhere near as bad as the rattle on Hyperion, which is also relatively new, and it doesn't make the ride weaker, but it still is something worth mentioning, mainly because some people are very sensitive to rattle. Before summing this review up, I have to mention the clear difference between front and back row. While I don't have a preference here, a few elements are very different depending on the row you're in. For example, the top hat has a strong but only very short ejector moment in the front row, while it is just as strong but more sustained in the back. The double inverting dive loop is also more whippy and disorientating in the front row, while it has a decent pull in the back. So, is it worth traveling a long way just for the Ride to Happiness? Yes, it definitely is. This is just such an insane ride. It's messed up and I absolutely love it. I actually managed to get more than 20 rides during my visit because the ride was walk-on the entire time. I could experience it often enough to clearly say, this is the true best new for 2021 coaster, and it of course gets its deserved final score of 10+. Thanks for watching, bye.